Hey everybody, it's Jerry, and this week I'm back for another cooking episode, and this week we're doing apple lime crepes. Now this is based on the Jamie Oliver assignment for this week, which was for pancakes. So I'm doing a little variation, and we're going to make crepes with an apple lime filling. So the first thing we're going to do is take a lime and squeeze the lime juice into a saucepan. Get all that juice out. And then we're going to add about a couple of tablespoons of honey to that, just to offset the sourness. So about two tablespoons of honey. I don't usually measure this, so you can just sort of estimate how much honey you want, just a little bit of honey. And then we're going to heat that up. And then we're going to add to that, I have 2 apples which have been pretty coarsely chopped up. And we're going to throw that into the saucepan. And we can turn the heat up a little bit. Mix that all in. And we're just going to add a little bit of water to that, just so it has a little bit of juice to cook in. So I'd say about a half a cup of water. Put a lid on the saucepan and just let that cook for a while. So I'm going to move this to another burner. And on this burner I'm going to heat up a frying pan. Now I highly recommend for pancakes, especially for crepes, using a non-stick frying pan. It'll make your life so much easier. Okay, now while that pan is heating up, we can mix up the crepe batter. And this is very similar to the waffle batter that I made in an earlier video, so I suggest taking a look at that just for reference. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. We've already got the dry ingredients mixed up together, and that is I'm going to keep an eye on this. Turn the heat down a little bit, you don't want it going too crazy. So you just want that to slightly boil. Keep an eye on that so it doesn't boil over or anything. So we've got a little bit less of the dry ingredients than we did in the waffle recipe. I've got a 1/4 cup of garbanzo bean flour, a 1/4 cup of brown rice flour, about a tablespoon of coconut flour, a teaspoon of aluminum-free baking powder, and 2 tablespoons of finely ground almonds. And that's our dry ingredients. And then I'm going to take an egg, break it into the bowl. Alright, so here we have our egg in a bowl. I'm going to beat that up. And then we're going to throw in our dry ingredients. And then we're going to add to that a cup of almond milk. And then mix that all up. Now we want to get a fairly thin consistency for the crepes. So I don't know if you can kind of get an idea. This is pretty watery, and that's what we want. We don't want it really thin, but we want it like a pretty thin batter. So our pan is pretty good and hot now. We're just about ready to start with that. We want to check on the filling, see how that's doing. At this point, I would suggest taking the top off. Just put that to the side, because we want to actually boil some of that water out of there now. We needed a liquid just to get the apples cooking, but at this point we want to just boil the water away. So we can actually turn the heat up a little bit and just let that keep boiling. Keep an eye on it so it doesn't start to burn, but you want to boil that water away. Okay, so we're going to take our ladle, do it on this side. Pour a little bit right in the center. Now, because it's pretty thin, it's going to spread out pretty well, but we can help it a little bit. Just tilt the pan around to the sides, let the batter spread out so it's nice and thin. And once that starts bubbling up, we can start looking at the bottom just to see if it's cooked on the bottom. So we want it to just be a little golden brown color, which it is right now. So loosen the edges all up and then just flip it over, like that. And then we just want the back side to be cooked as well, so keep an eye on that as well. After that's cooked for a little bit, just check the color and it should be golden brown. And once that's fully cooked through, then we can just take it and put it on a plate. Put that aside. So we're going to cook all of the crepes up the same way. Okay, so I just finished the last of the batter, and we've got 4 crepes here. So now we're going to start filling them. And our filling is doing pretty well. Let's take this off here. So if you can see, we've got all the water has been boiled out. And we're going to take the apple filling now and put it into the crepes. So what I like to do is, first of all, spread a little bit of the Benecol I talked about in a previous episode. This is a healthy butter substitute. And take some of the Benecol and spread it on the crepe. And then since we've got 4 crepes, we're going to take about 1/4 of the filling we've got here. Put it on top. And then we're just going to roll it up, side of there. And there we've got 1 finished crepe, and we'll just do that for the others as well. So now I've got all 4 crepes finished, and I had a little filling left over, so I just spread a little bit of filling on top. And what I like to do is take a little bit of maple syrup and drizzle it on top of that. And there we have a finished delicious breakfast of apple lime crepes. Let's take a bite. Delicious. So enjoy.